And action. Hey everybody, welcome to an episode of Visco Talks. Today I have with me the Micheal Avila. And Micheal Avila is a former collegiate and professional athlete who was an undrafted free agent for the Carolina Panthers in 2012 and 2013. He was born and raised in both Marina and Seaside, California, and currently resides in the 831 area. He has since established his own brand known as Avila Athletics, where he currently serves as a personal trainer, coach, and mentor to the youth and public on the Central Coast. So, hey Mike, thanks for coming through, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks. I appreciate you for having me as the first guest on this podcast and for your brand, bro. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, no, straight up, like it's kind of funny. Like no one really knows about this, but we actually tried getting this talk for like 2 or 3 weeks. Like scheduling has just been so bad, just trying to find a
Um,
cool date and time to meet up and stuff. So, thanks for being here today, man.
man, I'm thankful, man. We made it work. That was
We did.
probably just you said what 2 weeks. It was probably longer than that. So
Oh, it's probably like a month.
probably the talks were at least in the month range, but we're here now. So let's get down to it and let's have fun with it and do it.
Yeah, no, let's do it, man. So yeah, so let me just ask you real quick. So you're a personal trainer for youth athletes from Seaside High. You have clientele in Carmel and even adults. But let me ask you, like, where does your I guess where did it all start for football? Like, when did you get exposed to it?
So let me take you back, and I'll try to keep this as condensed as possible. Football has been around for me. I want to say since the age of four, where my dad was a former. He had a little tryout with the Raiders and the San Diego Chargers, and he was an all-around athlete. And he came from a family of athletics, and it kind of carried on to with my family. Well, actually, it did. I'm the youngest of six, and we have a very big family, and we are big on competition and athletics. Sports is kind of what kept us focused and level-headed, humble, and hardworking. Taught us a lot of life lessons. But I got introduced to it about 4 years old, being around the practices. My dad coaching at Seaside High School. He's been coaching there for 25 years plus, and still is to this day. And I used to go around all the practices, just being around the athletes and um, just grasping it from there, being around it from my older brothers, my older siblings, my sisters. They didn't play football, but they played a wide variety of sports: softball, basketball, baseball, soccer, track and field, all the sports that we all participated in. You name it, we did it. We didn't really have a choice. My parents were like, you know what, you start school at age 5, you're going to kindergarten, but you're also playing t-ball and you're playing soccer too. So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
kept they kept us busy throughout our daily lives, and man, it's can't complain, man. It's definitely helped me personally um, meet lifelong friends and learn, like I said, just typical life lessons that I can apply daily, such as like a hard work ethic, having discipline, being committed, and learning teamwork skills,
Mm.
attitude, etc. The list goes on, man. But that's kind of where I got introduced from when I was 4, and then I played all the way up sports, not just football, up until age 24.
Yeah, 'cause you're a big track guy too. I remember that, like watching you at Seats High meets and all that stuff.
Yeah, I wish I would have done track sooner. I started track my freshman year, going into high school at Seaside High School, um, and I ran track for 4 years. I fell in love with the process. I actually only did track to get better for football to increase my speed because in football, speed is everything. They say speed kills. So if you're faster than everybody, you're at an advantage. And that was my forte. I was already blessed and gifted with being naturally quick and fast. But I figured if I cannot settle for this, that, and just work harder to get faster and more explosive and more quicker, then man, I'm gonna be unstoppable. I'm gonna be a machine. That was my mindset. So basically, man, that's kind of what I did. That was the mindset I had going in from middle school and transitioning into high school. So yeah, track was super hard, but man, I pushed through it and it paid dividends for me, and
Yeah.
it definitely helped like knock off my 40 time for in football and get more recognition on film and with scouts, for that matter as well, bro. So yeah,
Yeah,
track
I heard. I remember you telling me that like during your track meets or track practices, that Coach Green would like make you guys go through it, right? Like
coach.
just
Yeah, oh, man, Coach Green, uh, Coach Phil, and Coach Q. Coach Q is a legend, the
oh yeah,
legendary
Coach
coach.
Q. Yeah, that was
Coach
the
Q is
one.
a legendary
Yeah,
coach, man.
that was the guy.
Man, yeah, you can ask anybody. He's not there now. I wish he was, because man, that guy, he's more like a specialty in like professional training. Seriously, like his practices and his demand for like greatness in his athletes. Most athletes in high school, the maturity, they just don't have that overall maturity, and they're not ready for it. And he's really hard. His personality was kind of like just strict and tough, and
Yeah, but it was like all love, huh?
he
Like
was
at the
at
end
the
of
end of the
the
day,
day.
if you worked hard, he respected that. And people, you know how it is in high school. Guys are immature. Guys want to go out there for show, and that's what it wasn't about. It was strictly business. But I
Yeah,
already had that mindset and mentality, so it worked really well for me, and I stuck with it. And Coach Q respected that, and he got me from like this level and elevated my level to like up here within that 4 year window. I trained with him, and I didn't even do off season. He tried to recruit me to do off season after football,
yeah,
so I can get at another level, like that much more faster, explosive, stronger. But I didn't do it. I just did football and track, and
yeah.
during the season, and I kept it that way, and I kept it simple, and it worked for me, bro. It all worked out.
Yeah. So I bet like it's like different loves, for both sports. Like for track, you just had like, even
Sure,
though like football is your main thing, track just kind of push you to that next level for your football skills and all that jazz.
sure,
But
heck yeah.
so let me ask you this real quick. So as a prior athlete in high school and college, like what are some good qualities that you expect out of a coach?
Um, Good qualities to have for being coach or being a coach, I'd say, well, now that I'm currently like a coach, I see myself as not just a trainer too, a coach. I am a coach, and I'd love to have in a coach is being able to adjust and adapt to every athlete, because every athlete, every person's different. Everybody has different personalities. So some people, some athletes might like when you're a yeller or screamer. You may maximize their potential that way, but for some, they may not like that. They may need
Yeah,
more like more
like
encouragement.
nurturing, like
Yeah,
supportive, like
exactly.
not
And
too
I
intimidating.
exactly. So I've had
Yeah,
both throughout my entire career in football and all my sports. I've had good coaches. I've had bad coaches. I've had coaches I just couldn't stand, and I had coaches I just loved and had seen as like a second father figure.
mm,
But man, I'd say just being able to adjust to different personalities and attitudes, and being able to be a master of your craft and teach, being able to demonstrate. Because I have had coaches who told me to do something and wasn't thorough at, explaining on a certain drill, and I'm like, okay,
yeah.
I don't understand. But then when I ask a question, or another teammate of mine would ask a question, like, Coach, can you show us, or go into more detail? They'd get offended because I'm not sure if they were that talented to demonstrate that
Oh, really?
detail. There.
It's
Yeah,
like
so I'm
how
like,
can a coach like ask something out of an athlete, but then like can't do it themselves, you know?
exactly. You can't expect it if you can't do it. So the respect there is already out the window for me and other people, like, or teammates, like, whatever. This guy probably is not even capable of that. But
Yeah,
I like coaches who demonstrate and do it. So that's what I do when I'm out there, when I'm coaching, when I'm training. I get involved. I'm hands on. I like to participate and compete with the guys and have fun with them as well. And the respect factor just goes up tremendously, man. So I'd say being able to teach and adjust to personalities and attitudes, and being able to just be you.
yeah,
Basically,
yeah. Like I feel like, sometimes coaches kind of have like an ego, and kind of like
for
want to
sure.
push that ego
Oh,
towards those athletes, but at the same time, like at the end of the day, like they're all human, like the athletes, the students, the coach themselves. So they really need to like kind of establish that relationship with one another. Like it's not just coach and athlete. It's like, leader and athletes who want to look up to that leader at the same time.
no, that's spot on, man. Like a lot of times coaches, man, and I'm far from perfect. Now that I'm a former athlete, it's helped me gain more perspective coming from an athlete. So I understand, okay, this is what I liked being an athlete, this is what I didn't like being an athlete. So as a coach, I understand with the guys I work with or the clientele that I work with, okay, maybe they don't like this, but let me come at them with a different approach, a creative approach to get them more interested and intrigued, to get their attention span, because sometimes they'll lose interest or focus or just some ways, any ways I can try to like push them and get them better in their whatever their goal is. I'm always open and doing my research to better myself in that area. But for sure, ego, you got to throw that out the window, man. As a player, as a coach, because it's definitely their pride is something big that tears down, you know, in general, not just sports and families, friendships, but especially in sports, man. That's pride and ego is detrimental in a way. So,
Yeah, yeah, like you never know, like when like there's always a bigger fish, so whenever that happens, you just kind of look back, look at your, your own perspective and what you can bring to the table and just kind of like work from there. But so like
definitely.
when it comes to student athletes, like what do you tell them? Like what are some like good advice for student athletes to kind of get to that next level that you've been to in terms of college and in the professional league?
Um, man, there's a lot. The
Yeah.
first thing I would say, man, just keep it simple. Be yourself. Um, if you do have any flaws that you need to work on, you need to work on those.
Yeah.
Um, so first and foremost, keep your grades up because
Oh,
if you
that's a
don't
big
have,
one actually. Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I kind of expected too because I
yeah,
remember when I
don't,
was playing sports in, high school, I feel like that was like always a thing. Like students weren't making up to their GPA. Like they
no,
were so concentrated in school, but at the same time, like they weren't keeping up with their grades. And it's like I remember like a coach told me this, but I forgot who it was. But it's like you're a student athlete, so being a student always comes first before becoming an athlete. So
yeah,
that's a really big one. Like,
that's huge, man.
yeah,
Yeah, it's not. It's a student. Like you're right. It's student athlete, not athletic student. So like guys put more time into their sport than they do into their studies, and that can lead to problems as well. So just stay on top of your priority, bro. Like study, go do your homework, go to class, be on time, be prompt. The little things, man. People don't want to do that, and like you mentioned earlier in the convo, man. Ego. It's ego. They want to do things their way. They're prideful. They don't like to be told. When you get older in like high school, when it's crunch time, when you're trying to get a scholarship in sports, it's competitive, man. You're not just competing against guys on your team. You're not just competing against guys you're playing against in your area. On a larger scale, you're competing against guys all throughout California, all across the nation, and there's limited amount of scholarships that can be given out per sport per team. So it's hard to get a full ride scholarship. So guys, it comes down to like if you're at the same skill level, but you may have one flaw and this guy doesn't, like his grades are better than yours, or he's more coachable than you. You may be more talented, but this guy's way more coachable and he works harder than you. He's not lazy like you. They're gonna probably favor this guy than you. Just stuff like little things. And guys, I tell my guys, I try to give them pointers on that. Like those little details, being detail oriented is super important, man. Like grades, that's the first thing a college scout when they come to your school. If they're impressed by your film, they're going to ask about your transcripts. They're going to look at your GPA. Then they're going to talk to and interview a few of your teachers.
yeah,
They're going to talk to your coaches. They're going to try to establish how your personality is. Does he work hard? Is he consistent, etc. So those things are important. So I definitely say first and foremost, keep your grades up. Try to put yourself out there. Go to camps. Try to get recognized because coming from the Monterey area, it's hard. We're a smaller market, so
yeah. We really are.
you get underlooked, man. We got to think about it. We compete against bigger market areas such as like San Jose, Sacramento, LA, San Diego, San
Hmm.
Francisco, Oakland. So those are like the primary spots that a scout's going to go to just because they're bigger areas where more athletes are there. Doesn't mean that they're better, but it just means that's where they're going to go. And then
Yeah.
places like Seaside, Monterey, um, what else is another small town? Gilroy.
Mm.
We get overlooked because they're not. We're like on um,
Like the last tier, basically.
the last tier to look at. Okay, so we really have to do something to stand out in order to get the attention of a scout or a coach. So
Yeah.
you have to work extremely hard and focus and hone in and do all those little things, man, and pray for the best. Really, just stay humble about it and always be super confident within yourself. Don't let a coach or a bad day justify how you are as a complete athlete. Just always
Mm.
believe in yourself, and that's one thing I've always had about myself, man. So that's why my logo is just humble confidence.
Yeah, humble
I,
confidence. There we go, man.
live by that. Yes, I live by that, man. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a big thing to like really think about too, because I feel like in Monterey County specifically, like we have so many like professional caliber players, and there's like a lot
yeah,
of them that not a lot of people not a lot of people know about, like such as yourself, used to be you said a undrafted restricted agent for the Carolina Panthers, right?
yes,
Was that
undrafted
it?
free.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, yeah,
yeah,
you're
that.
undrafted free agent.
And then, yeah, and then we had Mason Foster, who played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Terry
Mm-hmm.
Poole, Miami Dolphins, Orlando
Yeah,
Johnson, the Pacers, right?
mm-hmm.
Indiana Pacers. So it's like
Classic.
there's
Yeah,
so many of these great athletes around this area, but not a lot of them had the opportunity that most, I guess, markets can really, look at in the first place.
yeah,
So that's just a really crazy thing. Like especially just it's not just football too, but also like track, especially soccer in our area. I think we were talking about the other day too that rugby player um, who
and
was just
Ty.
playing for the U.S. Olympic team in Japan. So like
Right.
there's just this big population of great athletes in our area that aren't really getting the recognition that they should be. While on
Exactly.
top of that, it's like education is a big factor too, and that's just like I feel like the first pillar, the first obstacle to really get over, which is getting your grades right and then putting yourself in a position to get scouted out from over there.
Yes, yes, man. That's something one of my coaches, while I was at San Jose State, one of my coaches, I can't remember exactly who, but one thing that stuck with me was if you take care of like your outside, your personal things, like for instance, your grades, your family business, like with your relationships with your girlfriend, your mom, dad, your siblings, your
Yeah.
friends, you do your homework, your nutrition's on point, you sleep well, you hydrate, you don't, you have a fine balance in your life, then that leads to better performance. Is and the opposite, if you do things the wrong way, you don't take care of your grades, you have poor relationships with whoever it is, it could lead to poor performance and it can carry out on the field and it could linger in
Mm.
your mind. Football or any sport for that matter is all mental. People don't realize it. They think it's mostly just physical. You train, you condition. Yeah, you do. But you have to know the playbook. You have to know your assignments. And if you don't, you're not going to be able to be even on the field. And if you mess up, you're off the field. There's a lot of pressure you deal with mentally, psychologically. So you got to make sure your
Yeah.
mental is good, you're clear, your mental health is straight, and that's what can lead you to a higher success rate. So
Yeah, that's a good point too. It's like not only do you have to be like a great athlete, but you should also be a great person at the same time.
sure,
Like your
sure,
personality, your character kind of carries over to the field and what you do as a, athlete going to college or professional sport or even high school for that matter. So let me ask you like what are some good tips I guess for like students who are trying to be great athletes? Like what are good some like psychological tips? Maybe even dieting tips too, like ways to take care of their body because I think another big obstacle is just injury. Like there's so many athletes out there who kind of suffer from injury, and it's like, oh dang, he or she could have been that. So
yeah.
it's a big thing, like just taking care of your body and just like I guess stretching, watching out for your ACL, just whatever the matter.
Man, it's funny you say injuries because it's not funny because injuries aren't funny,
No,
but
they're not, definitely not.
yeah, I was a victim of that, and I'm not blaming it. Or well, I'll keep this condensed again. Like I said, football and injuries are the injury rate in football. Do you
Mm.
know what the injury rate in football is? They say
I have no idea.
it's 100%. So when you play football,
Oh,
whether
yikes.
it's a cut, a sprained ankle, a bruise, a broken bone, a torn ligament, a concussion, whatever it is, you're going to eventually get one of those injuries because football is a very demanding, one of the most physical sports there is. So
Mm.
you're going to get injured at some point at football. That's why some people don't, want to play it. Some people have more heart and want to play it. Not saying that you're soft if you don't play it, but I see it's dangerous, man. So
Yeah,
taking
for
care of
sure.
your body, yeah, taking care of your mentals and physical, like your body, ice baths, stretching, going to physical therapy, going in the jacuzzi, getting like cupping therapy, cryotherapy, all those things that professional athletes do nowadays. To look at like Tom Brady, LeBron, they spend like $1 million in the off season just on maintenance work to for longevity, man. So it's important, man. Something, yeah, some things you just can't control. Like for me at San Jose State, I tore my ACL during a practice, and the rest was kind of history, man. So that's kind of why I was undrafted. I feel because I never got a chance to showcase my true abilities. I got my spot taken by injury because when
Yeah,
I
yeah,
I finally I had to wait my turn freshman and sophomore year, and then junior year was my turn to shine. I was starting. It was a week before spring ball when we were going to practice in front of our new coaching staff because our previous coaching staff got fired. So our new
mm,
coaching staff, I was doing things to impress. So I was like, okay, I'm ready. This is my time. My goal is to go to the league, go to the NFL. I don't care about my size, my stature, whatever it is. I've been proving everybody wrong from day one, and I'm going to continue to do so. Anyhow, we did a one-on-one drill. I'll never forget. I did a 15-yard in cut route. My technique was bad. I planted too
mm,
wide on my right leg, and my knee, like I twisted and planted too wide, and that leads to either you'll slip, which I wish I would have slipped because I would have been fine, but I
yeah,
didn't slip. My leg gave out. I felt a pop, and I heard a pop in my knee, and I kind of knew it was like a sharp pain. And come to find out later after further testing, it was a torn ACL. I was
yeah,
devastated, and I went through like a depression, first time in my life facing
mm,
adversity like to that extent. And I couldn't play that year, so the guys under me who were second string, third stringers got more opportunity to
yeah. They
showcase.
got their chance.
And they established themselves with the new coaching staff. So then those coaches started playing their own recruits, and they started like in the underclassmen. So when I did heal the next year, I was already on the second, third string, and I had to prove myself over again. And no matter what I did, and I balled out, everybody said, and I know I balled out with all my heart in camp to prove myself, and I still didn't start.
Mm,
Um, so that's why I got undrafted. I didn't have a lot of stats, but I did perform well at my pro day. I kept with it. Wanted to quit, but I was like, you know what? I came this far. Let's just pursue it out and finish it through. I'm not a quitter. I'm not. That's not my mentality. I was never raised in that manner. So I did very well at my pro day. I ran a 4.3, and I did very good on all my other numbers: my shuttle, my vertical, my bench press. Hit it 17 times, and
yeah,
that's kind of what got the attention of some scouts, and that's how I got undrafted from the Carolina Panthers. Got brought in for a tryout. I was a tryout.
yeah,
Drake started from the bottom. I started from the bottom. I got invited to a invite only camp for
mm,
rookies and drafted free agents. And after the camp, I ended up getting signed. So yeah, it was short
not,
lived, but it was great. It was great. So
yeah, but yeah, that's that is really devastating. Just kind of like putting in all that work, and then just to kind of get your spot taken like that. But I think that really
devastating.
just ties back to it's not just being about being a great athlete, but also being a great character, because despite all those troubles and stuff like that, it's like you didn't really let that define you. You found out other ways to really be the best version of yourself, and you're doing so through coaching, through tutoring and like helping out and reaching out to other student athletes and
Yes.
other clientels and stuff like that. So it's still a great thing, man. You're doing humble confidence, which is pretty awesome. And I know you got like a lot of clientele. I know like you've been telling me that like you have like students calling you Coach Mike and stuff like that, just probably like just joking around with you and whatnot. So like how do you like doing that now? Just
Um,
doing
man,
personal training with like potential great athletes here in Monterey County.
I love it, bro. It's my passion. Personal training, coaching, mentoring is, I guess, it's my calling. I say
Mm.
now that I have more perspective and I can sit back and I'm older. Um,
Yeah, you're like a
I
wise man now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you're like the sage.
I enjoy I
Yeah,
enjoy what I do. I enjoy what I do, man. It's a passion. I don't see it as a job, man. So,
yeah,
um, me just not being stingy with all my knowledge and expertise, I feel I would be doing my community an injustice by not sharing what I know and learned and acquired and etc. to the athletes in my area and the clients. I just want to help. Like the feeling you get from that, man, is priceless. Like it's
Mm.
gratifying. Like you can't put a price on that, bro. Like no
Yeah, most definitely.
material. Nothing. Like when you help and impact in a positive way, and you know you're helping and inspiring someone, and that feeling makes you just feel so good. It's hard to describe, but um, it's like an addicting feeling. You want to keep helping more and more people and
Yeah.
athletes. So um, yeah, man. I hope I answered that question the way you
No, no,
wanted
you
it to.
did. No, that was that was great, man.
Yeah,
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 no, it's all about just paying it forward, like getting the experience you have
right,
right now and like just moving it to the next generation or just like whoever kind of needs that expertise and help, to prevent them from getting that same situation and just being the best version of themselves. But
for sure.
let me ask you, man, like, do you have like any pet peeves? I would ask from like any of the people you coach,
Oh
like
yeah,
like from student athletes. Like, do you hate it when like they get late or like kind of just complain or just like are
tech.
there any kind of like little bad things that you notice that you
Hell
could
yeah,
just say
bro.
on camera right now to like kind of prevent that?
I'll keep it friendly, but yeah, there's a lot of things that get on my nerves or can irritate me. But I just try to stay as patient as possible because a
Yeah,
lot of my athletes are young and immature, and my
yeah, that's
clients,
true too.
some of my clients are like my age or older, but they know no
Yeah,
better, and I know I
yeah,
have more expertise in the field or whatever their goal is when they're trying to attain it. So I try to just have more perspective and slow things down so I can think more rationally. So one thing is just excuses, bro. I just
yeah, I can see that
I
right
hate
there.
excuses. Like, be upfront with me from day one so I can just know and be honest. Don't lie to me. And if you're lazy, Kobe Bryant said it the best, man. Like, I'm gonna get that
Yeah,
poster on here too. He said something like, "Laziness is a disease, and if you're lazy, I don't want to know you. I don't want to be by you. I don't want to get to know you." That's true. I just don't like laziness, man. Like, if you know you're great and you could have so much potential, why settle? Um, that's like
yeah,
probably my
that's that mama mentality right there.
mama mentality, man. Those are probably
Yeah, I
like my
remember like it was like I don't know what year it was, but like there was like a practice session with the Lakers when Bryant was playing, and like he was just talking trash to like all of his players. I think it was like players like Nick Young. It was like a really trash lineup, like that stage in time, like probably like 2014 or 2015 when the Lakers were just trash. He was just kind
yeah.
of cussing out the whole practice squad, saying that they're all just like there to have fun. And I think Jordan Hill was on that team too, and stuff like that. And it was like like if you're not coming out to show up, then why show up at all in the first place, And you
Go
kind
through
of
the
have
motion.
to be driven like that to get to that level and just, just compete.
Yeah, if you
You
don't
got to
have
be frank about it.
yeah, exactly. If you don't have that right mindset, if you're just gonna come and go through the motions, then football or whatever sport it is not for you. Go with all due respect, go flip burgers, um,
Yeah.
go work at a car dealership, go do something else where you don't want to get physically active and in the mode because there's gonna be dog days. I had it a lot. Training camp, Carolina Panthers. Humidity is like 95 degrees, but the humidity's ridiculous. So you have to take like 3 showers a day. San
Oh
Jose
yeah.
dry
That's
heat.
that's crazy. Yeah.
It's like 105 degrees. We have to do a double day practice. Nobody
Mm.
wants to practice in that weather. Nobody wants to wake up at 4 a.m. to go to a weight training session. Nobody wants to go to a film room for 2 hours and then be there in camp from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and you do that for
Mm.
4 weeks straight, and then you go to school, and then you transition back and forth to a study hall. It's a grind, bro. People don't realize it. It's a job, and it's hard, man. It's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it, man. So
Yeah.
the mama mentality is real, bro. So
Yeah.
those are I just don't like from people if they give half-ass efforts too. And I know if they talk too much, they don't take their craft seriously while they're out there.
Yeah.
You can have fun. I'm always a fun believer. If you're not having fun, then don't play. It's not for you. But
Mm.
if you are goofing off and causing like distractions to yourself and others, where it's dragging down the whole morale of the team, and you're not, trying to do your best because you're just setting yourself up for failure and shorting yourself, then don't be out there, man. Don't come at all. Stay home.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I feel like that mentality kind of applies to like not even if you're an athlete too, because I know there's everybody's kind of been through days where it's like they want to go to the gym, but it's like it's just so hard to go out there. So
You got to
like you
push
don't even have to be like you don't have to play a sport to be an athlete. You can just, it can be anybody who like wants to attend to your health, going to the gym, going for a run, stretching, working out, and all that
it.
stuff. So, yeah, like you
Commit.
just got to be driven, whether or not you're playing a sport for
Yeah,
your own personal health.
yes. Be driven. Motivation is temporary, but if you're driven, it's always in your heart. So be driven. Have discipline and commitment, man. So that's huge.
There we go, man. So, hey, that was a good talk, Mike. I really appreciate it, bro. Thanks for being with us today. You
Awesome,
got
man.
any last words? Any last things to say?
I think I forgot some. I did write like a few notes for for advice because I'm big on like the youth
Yeah,
out, especially in my community, but just in general. Some advice like I forgot to mention is like your nutrition for nutrition. I don't think I touched base on nutrition much.
we didn't
So,
go through that much.
so yeah, real quickly, just eat real food. Use your
Mm.
common sense. Like stay
Yeah,
away from
guys,
fast.
don't eat McDonald's or like Taco Bell.
Exactly. Fast food, sodas, processed foods, like really limit those, man. You can get away with it now, but in the long run, it's going to affect your performance and it's going to catch up with you in weight gaining. I've seen it with some of my friends and people that I know. So eat produce, like that is vegetables, fruits, alkaline water, spring water. Um, get adequate amount of sleep. Get at least
Mm.
8 to 10 hours of sleep. If
Yeah,
you get
that's
less than
I
that,
feel that one.
because leads to longevity and living longer in life. If you get less than 8 hours of sleep per night as an athlete, man, you're kind of pressing yourself and putting yourself in a bad position. Sleep is crucial for recovery, so make sure you recover. Make sure you hydrate. Athletes drink at least a gallon of water a day. I'd say recommend because you're so active, you're losing so much fluid, you're sweating. Drink a gallon of water, flush out your system. Um, what else did I miss? I think that's pretty much it. But yeah, embrace and accept fear and prioritize your mental health and just believe in yourself always, man. That's all I can really say. Just keep it simple. And if you have any troubles, reach out to somebody. Always talk to a coach, an adult. Don't hold things in because I did that when I was. Don't hold things in. It gets worse. Your emotions, all that, and it has a psychological effect on you and into your performance. So just talk about things and get it out, air it out, man, and work hard. Work harder than everybody.
Sorry, what was that?
No, I said just work harder than everybody you're trying to compete against. Always have that grit. Always have that be starving mentality. Not hungry mentality. Be starving.
Mm.
You just want to be able to outwork your competition, even your teammates. Do extra things. Don't overwork yourself, but be smart and
Yeah,
do
don't
extra.
don't burn out for
Yeah, don't
sure.
burn it. Yeah, have balance. So,
Got it, man. All right, well, hey, thanks, Mike, for being on this talk, and I think we'll wrap it up. So thank
that's
you, man.
yeah. Thanks, man. This was a cool experience. Looking forward to watching more future Visco talks and seeing how it goes from here on out, bro. Thanks for having me.
Got it, got it, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Have a good one.